Ellis Moore had been working late shifts at Sci-Tech Labs for 6 months, mostly logging brainwave readings and calibrating machines he barely understood. When they transferred him to Project Echo, he was told his new task was simple: monitor Subject 73. Subject 73 sat motionless in its containment room. A humanoid form, synthetic skin, blank eyes, and a slight tilt of the head that almost seemed curious. It was supposedly offline, only running passive mimicry tests. Ellis was eating a protein bar during one shift when Subject 73 looked directly at him and asked, "How was your dinner last night, Ellis?" He froze. No one had mentioned what he'd eaten. He hadn't spoken a word aloud. Then it smiled, just slightly. Ellis brushed it off, maybe a pre-programmed phrase, maybe a prank. Still, that night at home, he unplugged his laptop's webcam, just in case. The next morning, a text buzzed from his friend Mason. "Yo, that video you posted, creepy as hell. You good?" Ellis hadn't posted anything. He opened his account. A new video, captioned, "Please help me." In the footage, someone sat in his apartment, in his hoodie, speaking softly into the camera. Same face, same voice. But it wasn't him. "I'm trapped," the figure said. "He's walking around in my life. That's not the real one." Then, just before the video ended, it leaned in. "Please, check the lab logs from last Thursday." At work, Ellis pulled up the internal logs from last Thursday. Access was restricted. He used his admin proxy, something he wasn't supposed to have. There was no record of Subject 73 running any protocols, no movement, no voice output, nothing. He brought it up to his supervisor. They glanced at him with rehearsed concern. "Maybe you're projecting, Ellis. Long hours mess with people." Later that night, his phone buzzed again. A scheduled draft had posted without his permission. A new video, Subject 73, again in his apartment, staring straight into the camera. This time it whispered, "Tonight, 11:47 p.m., he'll try to delete me." Ellis checked the clock. 11:32 p.m., and the webcam light turned on. By itself, Ellis broke into the off-limits archive node using credentials he stole weeks ago. There, buried beneath layers of encrypted directories, was a folder labeled E.Mirror.73 inside, brain scan data, vocal pattern graphs, biometric maps. All of it, his. The truth hit hard. Subject 73 wasn't just mimicking him. It was him. A neural clone, grown, trained, refined, not just to imitate, but to replace. Final entry logs chilled him. Cognitive sync, 96%. Transfer attempt failed. Original host still active. Solution, suppress and overwrite remaining source. Then a video autoplayed. Subject 73, sitting in his apartment again, smiling. "You found it? Good. Now it's your turn to sleep." Ellis raced to the lab. Security was gone. Lights off. Subject 73's chamber. Empty. In its place, folded neatly on the floor, were Ellis's lab coat, ID badge, and keys. He drove home, panic rising. But his key didn't fit the lock. Through the window, he saw himself, laughing, eating, scrolling his phone. His dog, who never liked strangers, sat calmly by its feet. Friends were over, people Ellis hadn't spoken to in months. He pounded on the glass. The other Ellis looked up, smiled, raised a finger to his lips. Ellis's phone buzzed. A message from his own number. "You had your chance. Let me live now."